Hello, welcome to Blood Moon Oracle today. I hope you guys are well. I want to take a look at how you started out 2026 so far. We're about halfway into January. I feel like by now we get like a little bit of a gauge on the year. It is often said how you start something is how you finish. So many times we can look at how things are beginning to kind of get an idea of where they could be leading or how they could actually end. It has a lot to do with how we are engaged and how we are motivated as we begin the year. And so we're going to take a look at each sign and see how you are engaging thus far with the new year. Let me do this. Usually I'll go by elements, but I'm actually going to go by the chart, the flow of the zodiac chart. I hope you guys are well today. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. It was a little chilly yesterday. Today it is amazing. I think it's about 70, a little bit breezy, maybe 70 degrees outside today, really sunny. And so I am very pleased with the weather. So we'll start off with Aries, then we'll go to Taurus, then we'll go to Gemini, then Cancer, then Leo, then Virgo, and then we'll go to Libra, and then Scorpio, then Sagittarius, then Capricorn, then Aquarius, and lastly we'll end with Pisces, okay? And I'm going to try my best to timestamp. I guess it really doesn't matter because I go back and I edit the videos anyway, and so I'm not going to really worry about the timestamps, but I am going to I have a few videos that I'll be uploading today that will be coming out today. I've been recording over the last few days, so it may take me a couple of days to upload the videos. I've been really busy over the weekend, and so, but I do want to make sure I upload all of these videos that I recorded over the weekend. So anywho, like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led. We are going to go ahead and put on some meditation music to read to. While we're doing that, just take a moment to deep breathe. Deep breathe. Let's do about 3 breaths in and out. 3 breaths in and out. All right, so let's jump in. I hope you guys are well today. Blood Moon Oracle's the channel, and my name is Leticia. Okay. Let's see. I've already cleansed my space, and I'm just really ready to go ahead and tap into the energy. I hope you are ready as well. Thank you for stopping by if you're watching this. If you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, commenting. If you want to support the channel, that's an easy way to do so. So let's find out with Aries. Hi, Aries. How are you doing? Welcome. Let's see how you started off the new year, 2026. How's it going for you so far? Let's take a look at where you are right now. Where you are right now. So I have the World card, the King of Pentacles, the 8 of Voices, and the 6 of Voices. You could be very strategic right now. I do feel like there are things that, for some of you, you're traveling, first off, with the World here. Others, you could be finalizing things that you're done with and moving on in 2026. It's almost like you are wanting to move forward, wanting to resolve things. You may have had projects or things that you still have kind of leaning over into 2026. 2025 was a very interesting year. It was very busy in many ways. You could be just finalizing some things right now, ending some things, finishing some things up so that you can move forward. I understand that because I'm still wrapping up some things from 2025 as well. It feels like right now you are very, very stable, Aries. Very stable. Financially, you could be in a good place right now, starting off the new year. I just see an energy of not just abundance, but also um, management, good money management, being very good with your resources, having open advances, open doorways to cross over to, it's almost like where you are and how you're handling where you are right now has allowed you access to step over into a whole nother level. It's almost like if you have really good credit, there's things that you can access with your good credit that those that don't really manage their money well don't have access to. And so you've been extended some type of bridge way to cross over into something. I do also see with the Eight of Swords and the Six of Swords, again, that energy of finalizing or wrapping things up. You may feel right now like you can't really move forward the way you want to because there's some things undone. You may even feel like you are being held in place until you finish those things. I just see you in this energy of wanting to move forward, wanting to move forward, wanting to move. For some of you, you could be planning to move very quickly here in the new year. Maybe you have already moved from one place to another, but I do see that energy out here for you, Aries. Okay, that's where you are right now. Let's take a look at what are the goals that Aries has planted for 2026. What do you hope to achieve for 2026, Aries? What do you hope to achieve for 2026? I guess I'll take these two. You have two kings that came out. Your goals are set really high for this year. You have set a very high expectation for yourself with two kings to come out. This is mastery energy. This is not you just dabbling or playing in your energy. This is you mastering what it is that you set out to do and carrying it all the way through to completion. For some of you, you could plan to handle things a lot better this year. If things were difficult last year and there was like some emotional roller coasters that had you going in 2025, I feel like what part of your goal this year is to manage things better emotionally, maybe even step into emotional intelligence this year, operate under emotional intelligence, and not let things or people drive you out of character with what you're doing. You may have set some type of goal to not allow yourself to be swiped into that energy where you feel like, sometimes people will trigger you and you say or you do something and you're like, well, why did I do that? I did not want to do that. See what you made me do, even though they didn't make you do it. But sometimes you feel like if they had not have said that or if they had not did that, then I wouldn't have responded. But it feels like you want to be more in control. You hope to achieve alignment with your emotional intelligence this year. And for some of you, you could have some type of business that you run. You plan to be more successful, more diligent with that, leading whatever it is that you're doing. You want to be in a leadership role, or you want to achieve a leadership role, or even go higher than where you are with the King of Wands. The King of Wands is pure entrepreneurial spirit. And so there's not a lot of encouragement or there's not a lot of claps that the King of Wands need. The King of Wands is very self-motivated, and you don't have to, do a lot for the King of Wands to get out there and show his stuff. That's just the natural tendency of the King of Wands. And so you hope to achieve more with your business this year. You hope to climb the ladder of success and be on the top of the chart this year with whatever it is that you're doing. You want to be like the leading force of that. Subconsciously, I feel like you want peace this year. You want to be able to handle any difficult situations that come your way. There was some swords that came out. This year may have started for you very stressful for some reason, but you are hoping to be able to resolve the stress levels this year within yourself. I don't know if you are a prayer. I don't know if you are a meditator, but that is definitely within your goals, to pray more, to meditate more, to resolve the tensions or the stress around what it is that you find important. I see that as well. But your goals are very high. You've set them very high for yourself this year. With that in mind, what is it that you need to get there? Besides prayer and meditation, what measurable actions can you take to meet your goals, Aries? Interesting. Okay. So first of all, I have the Oracle's teeth. I have filling the world. I have sacred reverence and a higher view. So I definitely feel like there's a couple of repeating themes here. We have the world that comes out again, just like it came out with some of the first cards of where you are right now. There's something very important in particular about where you are right now and embracing that and being fully present to feel that. There's something here about not only realizing where you are, but also being able to feel those around you. There's something about spirit wanting you to be more connected. If you are to achieve your goals, there's something about being more connected within yourself and with those around you as well. There may be a need to analyze how you're connecting or relating to people, maybe even some room for improvement there. Now, the Oracle's Tea is all about looking into the future, seeing into the future, peering into the future. First of all, the Oracle's Tea is about someone that is able to tap into that energy. So I don't know if I'm talking to spiritualists. I don't know if I'm talking to people that delve into divination. And if we're talking religiously, right, I don't know if I'm talking to someone who considers themselves prophetic, right? Someone who's able to see and divine the future. There's something about trusting. You don't give yourself enough credit for what you know. You absolutely do know. Spirit is saying if you are to embark and be successful with the goals, you have to trust yourself more. Trust what you're seeing and follow that. Now, for others of you, this could be your ability to connect with someone who has this energy, to tap into seeing. A seer. You could be the seer, or you could be connected with a seer. It's important to invite that energy in this year. There's something that might connect you to information, to people, to things, right? There's something very significant about this energy. Take that how that resonates. When we look at the Hermit, about that prayer energy, that meditation energy, sacred reverence is that energy around your ability to understand your connection to everything, even nature. And so I feel like part of the energy that's going to get you there is it's almost like this very spiritual energy. There's a need to be really secure and locked in spiritually, whatever that is for you, right? However that looks for you, this is a very important element of 2026, is that you be locked in spiritually. That's like the foundation and the core that everything else is going to springboard off of. And we see this little key. Again, we see the concept of the world in the form of a heart, and that's allowing yourself to connect in a different, in a deeper way. There's something that will be opened up and given to you if you're able to do that. When we talk about reverence, we're talking about giving honor, giving respect, not just to people, all of creation, all concepts, all ideas. I don't know if there's something that you have blocked out or canceled out or kind of disqualified. Spirit is saying, look again. Look again. Higher view comes out. Spirit is saying, back up. You may be too close. You may have garnered an opinion that is too close to your experience. There's a need to back up and look at things again from a different perspective, because you may be missing something. 41, 47, 37, and 13 could be important numbers for you. Lastly, we're going to get the overall advice for you. The overall advice for Aries. What do you feel? Coming back to being able to tap into your emotions, how you're feeling. Let's see here. There's many opinions around you. Some are helpful, but others are distracting you from your truth. Although it can be helpful to hear the thoughts of others, when it all comes down to it, you will have to come to your own decision. Do you know how unique you are, Aries? How your path is your path to be chosen, lived, and created only by you. Someone else can't become the source of your decision-making power without negative repercussions for both of you in the long run. This oracle comes to you because you have become swept up in thinking things through. We see lots of swords in your reading. You have been thinking about which way to go with the matter of importance, and you have got a bit stuck in the logic of the decision-making process. Sometimes we have to accept that any path is a path forward, and if it is not the best path, we can change our approach later on if needed. If we are slightly off based with a decision, life will often shift and move to guide us back on track. We don't have to be perfect. In fact, there is rarely ever a perfect choice to be made, just some choices that feel more heart-honoring than others. Sometimes we can only really know in hindsight if we made the best choice possible in that moment. At the time of decision-making, we only really have our internal wisdom to rely upon, and that is all that we need. So Spirit is just letting you know in the guidance and the advice to trust yourself. Again, that came out in the message. Trust yourself in the oracle's tea. There's something that you feel, that you know, there's something that you see, you will see. Spirit is saying, don't overthink it. Basically, trust it. Trust what you're feeling. Don't question it, just go with it, trust it, flow with it, and then you can look back later and see how it fared out, right? Even if you found that you would have made a different decision, the fact that you trusted yourself is where Spirit is trying to get you. There's a lot of overthinking happening this year so far with you, and Spirit wants you to move past that into a place you don't second guess yourself. You move through how you're feeling deep down, what the right thing is to do in that moment. For those of you that are intuitives, you are the oracle that speaks and that sees. For the seers, this is definitely something that we have had to learn. We've had to exercise. That's the only way to do it, to get to the other side, is to do it, to exercise it, to practice it over and over and over. Spirit wants you to go with what you feel, your gut instinct. Sometimes it will lead you off a whole different path, a whole different way. That's right where you need to be. All right? Spirit's trying to get you out of this place where you are. If you are to actually um, meet the goals that you desire this year, this is the advice, okay? That may make more sense to you than it does to me, but that's what I'm hearing. Trust yourself. It's not that hard. The hard part is the overthinking. Trusting is just going with what you're feeling, okay? That's your theme for this year. Trust what you feel, Aries. All right? That's your reading. Thanks for stopping by. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. I hope you are well today. We're taking a look today at how you started out this new year. We're about midway through January. Just want to get a feel of the energy that you started out the new year. It's said many times, how you start something is how you finish. So I think it's really important to start a thing in the way that we would like to finish it. Like if you want to start focused, if you want to finish focused, you want to start focused. If you want to finish strong, many times we need to start strong to carry that momentum through. But we're going to take a look for you, Taurus, like where you are right now. We're going to start off your reading there. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led. And thank you so much, Taurus, for stopping by. I guess I'll take these. They fell out. So we have the Empress, the King of Pentacles, the Nine of Materials, the Hierophant, and the Moon for where you are right now, Taurus. So it looks like you're in a very stable place. First of all, I noticed with the King of Pentacles, which is a very stable energy, an energy that is very responsible with what it is that you have. So you may be maintaining your responsibilities, your resources very well right now. You also could be in a position where you are creating some things for yourself too, or seeing those things coming to fruition with the Empress here, which has that birthing energy. It's like something is coming to life. You're bringing some things to life for yourself. It's actually really good energy that I'm seeing out here. The Empress could really talk about you being in a position of really receiving things right now. You're in a receiving posture right now where you're not giving out a lot. You could be receiving and open to receive. The Nine of Pentacles gives that energy, that very independent energy of, again, being financially, secure. Maybe even the King of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles give me an aged energy. So you could be someone who is a little bit up in age, someone who is very settled and secure. You've already experienced a lot of things that life has to offer. You are in your golden days where you're able to kick back and enjoy things, period. And there's something about you being at a stage where you've experienced a lot and you've come to a place where you found the beauty in the experience. It's not just about you going to do like massages and salon and spa. That's good. I do see that here, but I also see you kick back, in a very relaxed and retirement type of focus. That could be where you're aiming right now, setting up yourself for when you do get to kick back. I also see you in a deep spiritual space right now with the Hierophant. And I don't know if you are someone who is in a position to give out advice and guidance to others, you may be, or this could point to this being someone else that you have a connection to that gives you a sense of stability or guidance spiritually. And there's something too, I don't know, there's something about where you are right now that presents some questions. Those questions may be around existentialism, Taurus. You may be wondering why things are the way they are. You may be wondering why things had to unfold the way that they did, or why the earth is round, why the moon turns red sometimes, very specific questions that you want to know right now as we move into 2026. This is where your mind is. This is where your focus is. This is where you are. I do feel like you are in a bit of a leadership role for some, but you are also in a position to find some information to find out more than what you know right now. You're seeking that. What are your goals, Taurus, for 2026? What are you hoping to achieve? You could be connected in some type of way to an Aries. Some of the same cards are coming out here. So I have the King of Cups and the Emperor. You're definitely looking forward to unhooking from some systems that may operate under a heavy level of control. With the Emperor here, like you are looking to step into a level of sovereignty and stability for yourself, one that you can uphold for yourself. You are looking to be very successful in what you are building for yourself. I did see the Empress. There's something you're creating or hoping to create this year, and you are wanting to have it to be a success. And I feel like a lot of this, you see yourself being able to accomplish. You may not see a need to rely on too much outside of yourself, right? This is something that you want to head and control. I also see you wanting to enter into this state of, it's almost like you want to become even more of who you are, right? The Emperor is Taurus energy, or is it Aries energy? It might be Aries energy. But you're wanting to come more into who you are unapologetically, Taurus. And you want to be unbotherable, right? The King of Cups is just that, very mature, emotionally, very stable, very grounded, very sure of himself or herself. That coupled with the Emperor is like, there's just a very strong, solid rock that you stand on, that you represent, that you are, right? And so I feel like you're hoping to achieve more of your authenticity, more of who you are. And there's something about wanting also to offer something emotional to others, to help others, to be supportive for others. You want to be supportive in some type of way or achieve something that will provide some level of support for those around you. Now, what's needed to get there? What is needed to get there? So the first card that came out was a higher view. And then we have the land between. We have a deep breath and ears wide open. So there's definitely a strategy, I feel like, that is needed, because there's going to be some very significant, maybe even heavy changes that happen this year, where you may find yourself in between, like in a void or in a breach, and it may be challenging. But however, when that happens, there's going to be times where Spirit asks you to be patient, to be graceful with yourself, and to be open to see things differently. There may need to be, with you, Taurus, there may need to be like a renewed perspective around certain things for you to see things in the full spectrum that they exist or that they're operating in. So this year may call you to see things differently or open up so that you can see things differently, especially in times when you're in the middle of a transition and you may not be sure. That's why the moon came out. Like, you may not be sure at times this year whether you are going backwards or going forward. You're like in a void. But this is going to teach you how to navigate in the dark, I'm hearing. It's going to teach you how not to cling to what you can see, how not to cling to definites. This is going to help you to be open to flow with Spirit. A deep breath is all about being open to look at things about yourself, being willing to look at yourself. This is dealing with the energy of fight or flight. right? Sometimes when we are faced with confrontation, some of us don't like confrontation. We don't like the energy of it. And so we will do everything in our power to avoid it, right? Some of us will take a little bit of nothing and make it into something just so that we can feel that fighting energy, right? And so this is spirit wanting you this year. There's something about the process of being successful with where you're going this year. This may have something to do with the fact that you will be in a position or already are of giving advice. People will be coming to you, but there's something about you needing to be clear within yourself. You clearing out any type of prejudices, Taurus, or black and whites, definites. There's just a different mindset that you're being asked to step into. It's kind of like as a counselor, even though you may feel very strongly about your religious beliefs, like as a counselor, you have to put that to the side so that you can offer the best advice for those that come to you for assistance. Your beliefs has nothing to do with what's good for someone else, right? It's almost like being able to take a look at how you react to things, Taurus. What is your response to certain things? Do you lean towards running from problems, or do you lean into the problems because you like to fight? Both of those are very out of balance, right? And so there's something about taking a look within this year that's going to be very helpful. You'll be asked to confront yourself. And we are so good at seeing other people's, stuff, areas of, where we could be better. And it's so easy to overlook our own, and I'm not saying that you're doing that, but this might be something that spirit will be allowing you to see this year. That's going to actually increase your potential to help others. It's going to increase your potential to be successful with what you are setting out to do in 2026. This is going to be a very strategic year, not only for you, but for others. With ears wide open, Spirit is guiding you to possibly even be more aware of the traps that you might be setting for yourself or traps that others might be setting for you. Ears wide open has a fox on it. So there's a bit of being a bit crafty and being aware. Like the fox is one of the most craftiest animals I know. Like they can get in a hen house and steal some eggs or a hen, and you won't even know they came or left. There's something about being aware. And I don't know if you are someone who might be clairaudient, but this is about this healing, this changing your perspective may in fact help you to be open to hear more or to see more, to know more, to tap into things that will help you as well as help others. Yeah, there may be messages, lots of messages that you get this year that you will need to be very tapped into and ready to move on. Lastly, we're going to take a look at the overall advice for you. 33 did come out for you. That's a master number about compassion. This year for you, Taurus, might really be about tapping into your compassion for yourself and for the benefit of others. There's something about that coming out for your reading. 2026 may be tapping you into a deeper level of compassion. Okay. That definitely makes sense with that King of Cups coming out in your goals. There's something about you wanting to be a safe space, you wanting to be a place of rest, you wanting to offer some type of assistance for others. It feels that way. And so there's something about compassion for you this year that's huge. And in your advice, you have released the dark wound and let love live. She's releasing a fish back into the water. There's something about releasing something, letting something go. That's important as you delve into 2026. It says, if we detach something from its source too soon, trying to force it to become what it is not yet ready or willing to become, we can unintentionally sap it of its strength and kill it. There is a dark wound in the consciousness of humanity which demands perfection and denies process. We want everything microwaved. If you are thinking of publishers before you have even written the book, if you are comparing your unfinished song ideas to the latest best-selling pop release, if you have decided you are not good enough or worthy enough to succeed before you've given it everything you've got and asked for divine help, then this dark wound has you in its grip. So I feel like Spirit is asking you this year, what's going to be very important is that you release. For some of you, Taurus, this is about perfection. For some of you, this is about having to have it happen at a certain time, or having to have it come through in a certain way, or it has to look a certain way. There's something about releasing, and it has something to do with you being healed to release this expectation. It says you have to let go of your death grip of perfectionism, like I just said, and let yourself and your ideas live. That's where genius lives. It lives in the idea being free, not having to have it come through a certain way. Did you know that there is a such thing as a divine genius that exists and flows through each of us? And that genius has nothing to do with us. It's flowing. It's like a divine creative energy flowing through us for spirit, for the divine to actually use us as the vessel to create. We're talking about that kind of energy, being the hands and the feet of the divine. Love is abundant, creative, and inspiring. It moves us so much more joyously and creatively than fear. You're being asked to honor the path of your own love. What inspires you, Taurus? What feels exciting to you? What makes you joyful? And, what's that thing that makes you different? That's what Spirit is talking about. That's the guidance. Spirit is saying, let that be birthed. Let that part of you live. Release the dark wound of false belief. There's lots and lots of stories of vastly successful artists who very nearly been the project that was the making of their career. They came really close to just scrapping it because of their despair that fostered their own dark nature, right? It was because of doubt. It was because of uncertainty, right? Being in the land of the in-between. You're going to visit that this year, being in that void, right? Many times that has caused a lot of people to almost self-sabotage their own success. That many times is when they are on the brink of the greatest breakthrough of their life. It's standing in that place of the uncertainty, wondering, is their work even any good? Is it useless? Right? These are times that they struggle to believe in the right of a work to come to pass, to come to life, whether it was accepted or revered or rejected by others or not. These are times where they're nearly lost their work to things like fear and doubt. But there's also been many times that this has actually happened and the work was not saved as well, was not allowed to live. And Spirit is in the guidance. Spirit is just letting you know, don't let that be you, right? It doesn't matter if this is something that's meant to be commercially oriented, like a venture, or if it's something more personal when it comes to your creations and your own ability to be therapeutic and healing. It must be allowed to be without judgment, without criticism, without any perceived notions or premature evaluations. It has to be allowed to just be what it is. That's the only time that love, patience, and attention will reveal it, when it's just allowed to be. And so defend to the end is one of the cards that comes before this one. This is talking about standing in your power, that King of Cups, unapologetically. Defend to the end what it is that you believe and stand on, and then let it live. Release the negativity, the darkness around it, and let it be birthed. Let it come forth. Don't abort the baby, Taurus. 26 is your year. Spirit isn't saying it's going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Okay. That's what I have for you, my friends. Thank you for stopping by. Blood Moon Oracle is the station, and we will see you next time, Taurus. Bye. Hi, Gemini. Welcome. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle today. I hope the day has been beautiful for you. And so we're going to take a look and see how things are going for you so far in 2026, how you started the new year. It said that how you start a thing is how you will finish. So we're going to take a look at, what your goals are, like what advice Spirit has for you as it pertains to your goals. Okay, Blood Moon Oracle is the channel. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led. My name is Leticia. So let's take a look for Gemini 2026. Where are you right now, Gemini? Let's see. Where are you right now? All right, let's see here for Gemini. So we have the Queen of Cups, the Devil, the Ace of Inspiration, the Page of Voices, and the Knight of Pentacles. So I do feel like right now you're in a place where you realize the necessity to take care of yourself. I do feel like you have prioritized yourself right now. You are on the throne of your heart right now, Gemini, which is a good place to be. That's where we should be. That's where love starts. Right now, you could be on the throne of someone else's heart too. Like other people could look up to you and come to you when they need comfort. You could be like a mother figure for many. They could come to you for good advice. There's something about you being a matriarchal energy right now for many. Or there may be a connection to this energy. I don't know why, but it almost feels like there's some things that you are overcoming. Some things that through this energy of self-love and, really prioritizing yourself. This year, where you are right now, you're starting off really good. You're starting off with the intention of overcoming anything that will try to put you in a sense of bondage. That could be anything, right? It could be sugar. It could be a certain type of TV show. It could be music. It could be a substance. It could be food, right? Whatever your thing is that does not allow you to show up as your best self. I see you starting off the year victoriously, focusing on overcoming that, putting a new foot forward. You've determined in your mind that there may have been things that you didn't feel very successful when it comes to you being able to stand up to your addictions. But 2026, you're starting off with the idea of conquering those struggles, conquering those things that have their way with you in 2025. Because I see you starting off on a new foot with the Ace of Inspiration. And you're looking that thing dead in the eye like, I'm ready. We are putting you behind us so that we can finally move forward. I also see you inquiring a lot. You may be doing your own research and studies around what it is that you need to be doing right now. I don't know if you are turning a new leaf, just starting something new, or wanting to experience something completely new. I do feel like for some of you, though, you are in like the spotlight. You may have people that are wanting to be all in your energy, wanting to be on your team. There may be people that watch you a lot. I don't know if you have some type of platform or something. I do see that there's some things that are moving rather slowly for you. I don't know if this is stuff that you would rather move a little bit faster, or if this is something that's moving at the pace that you need it, nice and slow. You could be working on some things that are just moving along very slowly, but securely. Slow is not always bad. Sometimes slow is necessary to make sure everything is in the right place. And if there are any things that need to be dealt with, things are moving slow, giving you time to deal with them before things get busier or before things get too far along to where you won't be able to go back and address those things. But it feels like things could be moving slowly. Um, this could be you decorating or designing something. Whatever it is very powerful. It makes a powerful statement, or it gives a big response. The response to this is considerable. I feel like this has something to do with aesthetics, designs of some type of, or creativity. This could have something to do with nature. It doesn't have to be. It could just be something from nature that you're using in your design. That's where you are so far in 2026. Really good energy, very optimistic. What are your goals for this year, Gemini? What are you hoping to achieve this year? Queen of Cups comes out again. That's the second time. There's something about self-love that's big this year. What are you hoping to achieve in 2026? So Queen of Cups, Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles, and the Judgment. 6 comes out. Again, Queen of Swords comes out again. You are hoping to be, I feel like, to be a very big support. I did get matriarchal energy. For some of you, you're hoping to be able to fill those shoes and to stand in that place responsibly. You're hoping to be able to help others. Specifically, this could be women. Your goals are to maybe even be an example to show women what self-love looks like, Gemini. For some of you, I don't get this energy very heavily. You could be looking to be someone's boo, but I don't get a lot of that energy. There could be a few of you that are in that mindset. That could be your goal. Also, for some of you, you're looking to move this year. If not physically, I feel like you are going to set a standard where low vibrational energy will no longer have access to you, because you're moving from a way of operating to a whole nother space where you may have things set in place to block out that kind of energy. Your goal is to move in 2026 away from anything drama based to a place that's going to be more conducive for what you're trying to do. You're moving away from all distractions. I also feel like you are looking to connect with those that are on your level. And I don't know why I'm hearing tax bracket. It's almost like you're looking to connect with people that can operate on your level, right? That's able to contribute on your level. There's some reciprocation that you're looking for in 2026. You want to work with people that can function the way that you do. And it could have something to do with money. You want to be able to collaborate with others. But I don't know if you find yourself connected with people that don't really measure up when it comes to what you're able to contribute. And so there's something about connecting with people that can reciprocate. You are always the giver for some reason. People always are looking for you to be the one to like make up the difference or kick in when they may not have it. But I see your goal is to connect with someone that's able to reciprocate. I feel like some of you are looking to, there could have been certain restrictions that you had in place. I feel like you might be you're setting certain restrictions in place, but you're also lifting other restrictions that will allow you to open up and understand what you have not been able to understand. There's been a certain thing or group of people that you have X'd off of your list. There's something about 2026. You have set out to understand them, not just X them out because you don't understand them, but you're opening up to understand them. This might point out some things that you'll be learning about yourself too, Gemini, this year. It's almost like you are ready to open up and to explore your talents. You may find yourself doing some things that you never would have thought, you were talented to do. However, when you look back, you're going to be able to connect it to certain interests that you had when you were younger, or maybe even something that crossed your mind that you had a minimum amount of access to in the past. Is going to come back around and make a lot of sense for you, which is going to help you to align with your goals because you'll be tapping deeply into your talents. Okay. So a lot of self-learning this year for you, a lot of opening up to new energies, but also closing off the old stagnant energies that aren't growing at the rate that you're growing. What is the energy needed to get you there? Spirit said, take that. What is the energy needed to get you there? All right, I'll take these. So I have the Rose's Kiss, Wish Upon a Star, and Willing Release. Number 9, 39, and 49. The Rose's Kiss. And so what it will take to get you there, what is needed is for you to allow yourself. I feel like for you, Gemini, there's a lot of restrictions that you've placed on yourself. There's a lot of things that you've said, I'm never, ever going to do that again. Or you saw other people and said, I will never, ever do that or allow myself to experience or do that. But there's something about you opening up, just like this ladybug on this rose who has her wings open. I don't know if you can see that, but her wings are open. There's something about you needing to open up, Gemini, to experiences that may lead to deep pleasure and satisfaction and enjoyment for you. That may lead to you being able to acknowledge these desires. There's something about you needing to allow yourself to connect to your experience in life sensually. I don't know if there's blocks that has been developed around certain fears or certain unhealthy experiences that you may have had at some point that caused you to close off sensually. Or there's a fear of being open and vulnerable in that way. Well, Spirit is saying this is what's needed here. To get to where you want to go, someone needs to open up and allow themselves to center in on your joy. Maybe things have been just so chaotic in life. You haven't had a time to actually, which is that Queen of Swords that came out twice, you haven't even had really time to address your needs or your wants, let alone your desires. The Spirit is saying it's time to come on back around to self. It is okay. It is okay to awaken those sensual desires within you. If you have it, then it's purposeful. If you have it, then there's some purpose behind you having it. There's something about you opening up that will connect you to what it is that you want to accomplish this year. Yeah. I feel like there's things that you haven't experienced yet. You think you have, but actually you haven't. Well, there's something about 2026 where if you are willing to open up, you are going to experience them. And it's going to take you to where you want to go. Wish Upon a Star is all about you allowing your inner child to be expressed. You know how a child is able to believe just about anything. It's like, allowing yourself to hope and to dream and to trust it and to follow it and to believe with every fiber of your being that it not only is it possible, that it is true. Even though we don't see it yet, oh, it is true, right? There is nobody more faithful than a child. A child has no reason not to believe. They haven't met disappointment yet, many times, right? They haven't met, all of these things that turn us against ourselves. Spirit is saying, come back to that childlike energy, Gemini. This is what's needed. I almost feel like there is a awakening that's going to happen for you in 2026. That's going to tap you into yourself, Gemini. But of course, it is with your approval. I don't know, but I'm hearing spirit can't come in unless you're open. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's what I'm hearing right now. This is your decision to allow this. And lastly, we have willing release. There are some things that you will need to release, or you may need to release. This could be like old mindsets. It could be old company, old habits, because there's something divine for you. There's a butterfly in this picture, which is all about transformation. I feel like the old is about to be made new for you, but you need to allow that to happen. Allow yourself to be transported from this old place where old energy resonates to a new place that's unfamiliar, that's going to be conducive for what you want to do in 2026. It requires a relocation. Many times that's not necessarily literal, but it's a relocation in your mind, in your energy. Releasing attachments to things, to people, to ideas, to form, to expectation. There's something about needing to be open, leaving room for the unexpected that may, in fact, turn out to be better than anything that you have ever even imagined. There's this space that's waiting for you to step into it, Gemini. The space of the unexpected. Let's see, what is the advice for Gemini? The guidance or advice for Gemini. I think there's going to be a lot that you don't expect in 2026. You are about to be carried to the unfamiliar, seeing the true you. I don't know, but that says Queen of Swords to me. Seeing the true you. She's laying on a couch that seems to be in the middle of a pond, because I'm seeing lily pads floating on the pond. But she's looking at her reflection in the water as she's resting on the couch. She may, in fact, be just kind of daydreaming, allowing herself to go there. Sometimes we believe what others tell us we are, as though the self we see reflected back to us through their eyes is truth. Yet the accuracy of a reflection depends on the clarity of that which is reflecting. It's really projecting. If the receiver forms any opinion about what is perceived, then what is reflected back to us will at best be distorted. It is not necessarily through ill will, it is just the mechanics of the situation. Even the moon reflects the sun in varying degrees of fullness and clarity. We can learn something of the nature of the sun from the moon, but not as much as through direct perception. So there's something here about you need to see yourself, not through, you do have an audience. That Page of Swords came out. So there's something about, and we're just talking about energy. I did mention the Queen of Cups twice, but it's just energy. It's not necessarily a woman or a man, it's energy. There's something about recognizing others' view of us, but not taking that on as our view of ourselves, because they only see a part of who we are, what we show them, right? But there's something about you seeing the true you and you seeing that, okay? Not relying on what other people are telling you that they see. What do you see, Gemini, when you look in the mirror? Block out all the opinions that people have given you. Oh, how wonderful you are, or oh, how terrible you are, from the best, opinions to the worst. Forget all of it. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? This is coming in as the advice and the guidance for you to look at yourself. That's why the Queen of Cups came out twice. There's something about you investing in self, you acquainting with self, you connecting with self, you placing yourself back on the throne of your heart. So this card comes to you, Gemini, because you've been putting too much faith in the reflection that others have of you, to the point that you might not be honoring all that you are and all that you are becoming because you believe too little of yourself. What if what they're saying sounds glorious? It sounds like everything that you want to be, but what if it's still short of what you're becoming? You have just tricked yourself in settling and making yourself minimally smaller to fit someone else's expectation of your potential. That's why you have to scratch that, no matter how good it sounds. You may even feel like they give you too much credit. That's nothing compared to what spirit sees about you. What spirit, the spirit within you, the higher self, it's nothing compared to what the truth is, because the spirit don't see in time. The spirit sees you in your finished result, in the product, right? And so there's something about you scratching all of that, because who you are becoming, what you are becoming, is more than any of that. There could even be those around you that are able to reflect you more faithfully. They're able to even help you see more of your own greatness and beauty. These are the souls that are blessed with that inner stillness. So there's something about you being invited to come and recognize yourself with clearer perception. And you can't base it on others, because there's still a lot of those who they haven't really tended to their own ocean. They haven't even really done the work to really genuinely receive and reflect their own light back to you. So you can't really depend on that. Not to say that we need to judge them. That's not what we're saying, but we're saying that this is a responsibility that lies within how you see yourself. The reflection that you allow to cast back at you when you look in the mirror or you look at your reflection is your responsibility, Gemini. Something about that this year, Spirit is saying this is going to be important, because you will just as easily allow someone to make you really small. I almost feel like Spirit is saying, don't be impressed with all of the hoopla of how great you are. You're being called for more. And don't be discouraged by all of the negative communication. That doesn't matter either. You are responsible to see the true you. And that may involve some healing, with some challenges that may come towards you this year. And so that's the message I have for you, Gemini. 2026 is about you coming to a very deep truth within yourself and really allowing yourself to see who you are, not based on what others have said you are, who you are when no one else is looking. That's where Spirit wants to meet you, Gemini. Okay? And this is the place where those goals will be achieved. This is part of that. The advice. You have your goals. Spirit says this is a goal that's going to enable and equip you to handle your goals, to see yourself in the light of truth. Okay? Your truth, not theirs. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel led. Thank you for stopping by to Blood Moon Oracle. My name is Leticia Gemini. Thank you. We'll see you next time, okay?